Have you ever wondered how social media might be changing the way we interact with each other? In the digital age, social media platforms have become an integral part of our daily lives. With a few taps on a screen, we can connect with friends across the globe, share our thoughts with millions, and stay updated with the latest news. However, while these platforms are designed to bring us closer together, they may actually be pulling us apart. Despite its name, social media could be contributing to a decline in real-world social interactions. We're spending more time crafting our online personas and less time having face-to-face conversations. We're trading the depth of personal connection for the breadth of global connectivity. This shift in communication has profound implications. It affects our relationships, our mental health, and our understanding of the world around us. Does this mean social media is a villain in our story? Not necessarily, but it's crucial to understand its influence on our social fabric. Now let's delve into some real-life cases to illustrate this. Consider this: a teenager, we'll call him John, who spends 6 hours a day on social media platforms. John's world revolves around likes, comments, shares, and the constant chase for viral status. But what lies beneath this digital existence? John's family notices he spends less time at the dinner table, chooses his phone over conversations, and seems distant. His friends feel a similar disconnect. His grades start to slip, hobbies no longer hold his interest, and he exhibits signs of restlessness. This social isolation is a direct consequence of John's excessive social media use. As per a study, teenagers who spend more than 5 hours a day on social media are 3 times more likely to feel socially isolated. It's not hard to see how John, spending 6 hours daily, falls into this category. He develops social anxiety, struggling to interact in real-life situations, preferring the safety of his screen. But let's not stop at John. Enter Jane, a woman in her 30s. Jane follows influencers who flaunt perfect bodies, exotic vacations, and seemingly flawless lives. She starts to feel inadequate. Her life pales in comparison. The more she scrolls, the deeper she falls into this pit of self-doubt and low self-esteem. Research shows that nearly 60% of people using social media reported that it has impacted their self-esteem in a negative way. Jane, unfortunately, is part of this statistic. She falls into a cycle of depression, fueled by the unrealistic lifestyles she consistently consumes on social media. John and Jane, though different in age and circumstances, share a common thread: the dark side of social media. Their stories are a stark reminder of the impact it can have on our mental health and social interactions, far beyond the confines of their screens. As we can see, John and Jane's experiences are not isolated incidents, but reflect a wider trend. So, what does all this mean for our society? We've seen how these digital platforms, designed to bridge gaps and bring us closer, can paradoxically push us farther apart. While they promise connection, they often deliver isolation. Let's take a moment to consider the irony. A tool designed to foster social interaction is now one of the key contributors to social anxiety. We're constantly bombarded with images of others living their perfect lives, leading us to question our own worth and accomplishments. It's a perpetual cycle of comparison and inadequacy that breeds anxiety. Then there's the matter of isolation. We've all seen it. People at a gathering, their eyes glued to their screens, oblivious to the real-world conversations happening around them. We're losing the art of face-to-face interaction, replaced by emojis and text messages. The more we connect online, the more disconnected we become in reality. And it doesn't stop there. Studies have shown a correlation between heavy social media use and a range of mental health issues, from depression to body image concerns. We're trading our mental well-being for likes, comments, and shares without even realizing the cost. This is the dark side of social media, a side we often choose to ignore. It's time we take a step back and evaluate the impact these platforms are having on our lives and our society. It's time to question, is the connection worth the cost? In conclusion, while social media has its benefits, it's important to be aware of its potential downsides. It can at times reduce our real-world social interactions, causing anxiety and fostering a culture of comparison and inadequacy. Stories shared today are stark reminders of these hidden dangers, but we can counteract this by consciously balancing our online and offline lives. Remember, a like on social media is no substitute for a genuine human connection.